Mario Party Jamboree released last week on a Thursday. Yes, it's strange getting used to Nintendo's games releasing on a Thursday. Why do they do this? I don't know, but apparently some people think I'm the answer man, so we'll go with that they were trying to stop games from leaking, but look how well that worked out for them. Anywho, while I was playing the game, I heard something interesting. That does sound like the mid-boss theme from Kirby Return to Dreamland. I wonder what the devs were thinking when they made this. Well, in order for us to discover that, more Kirby goodness, I'm going to have to take a look in depth of this game. And before we can do that, we need to take a look at the game box itself. You don't usually see this in games, especially from Nintendo, but we have a physical item inside of every physical copy of Mario Party Jamboree, at least before March of 2025. In this case, it's a neat little pamphlet that has a code for 3 months Nintendo Switch Online. Just the basic membership, but it's nice because like previous entries of Mario Party on the Switch, it has online gameplay, and that's awesome because you're buying a complete package to buy this game right off the bat. Honestly, I hope Nintendo does something like this more often considering the fact that Switch Online purchase, well, it can get kind of expensive including the game price. Alright, so this is the third brand new Mario Party game on the Switch, and it's been 3 years since the previous new installment, which that being Mario Party Superstars. It's got a whopping 7 boards, 2 more than in Superstars, a ton of characters including 2 new unlockables including Doki Doki Panic's Ninja and Donkey Kong's Pauline, a ton of minigames with some new ones and most of which are from previous installments. I do think the list of boards here is solid enough, just I don't think they're setting the world on fire. Particularly the racing board giving PTSD from Mario Party 10 thanks to its inclusion of cars and these quad dices that if you use can blast you right past the stars, so thanks for that. The Rainbow Mall, I feel, might be my favorite new addition just because, I don't know, malls are dying and it's neat to see them here. But aside, it's got a cool little 4th place store that only 4th place can access, and a neat little stamp collection. There are 2 retro returning boards being Mario's Rainbow Castle and Westerland from the original Mario Party, and Mario Party 2 respectively. They are nice additions with a few added bonuses, but with only 2 retro boards I feel as though it's a bit lacking, and this is probably because these were some hashed on bonuses. That being because Mario Party Superstars was supposed to have DLC, and these 2 maps were some of the few that were going to be included. It's honestly quite a bummer that Nintendo just update their previous game and just made a whole new entry, since playing the game kinda made me want to go back to Superstars, even though it has less content. It just feels like a better game thanks to its fantastic board selection. That's not to say Jamboree can't stand on its own. I certainly would say it's the second best Mario Party on the Switch due to how much sheer content there is. And if it wasn't for the retro boards, I do feel as though this would be certainly lacking. At the start especially, since there are only 4 boards unlocked, just like the original Super Mario Party. The rest of the boards I didn't mention are good, just not as bad, nor are they perfect, just that once again this game is fantastic due to how much there is to do. Speaking of which, there are some neat modes in here such as Koopa Athlon, which has you and 19 other players completing a variety of exclusive mode minigames that makes this mode honestly quite addicting. It's so addicting that I've barely played the other modes, such as the not-so-great story mode, which I don't even know if you can call it that. It was honestly so uninteresting where you need to do fetch quests for Kamek that I only played it for a few minutes, and that's quite a bummer since Mario Party games usually would have a good single player, just not this one. Would have been nice if we had bosses since those are brought back here and are perfect to add to single player. I guess at least there's something for a single player story mode. There are some motion control minigames, but I didn't touch them at all because honestly this Joy-Con controller is just god-awful, and I'm glad there's an option to turn those off before playing boards. Speaking of features, this game now has pro rules for all you esports Mario Party players out there. Less luck and more skill. More transparency such as knowing the bonus star beforehand, the fat trim such as for lucky spaces only having 2 possible outcomes you can get, and yeah, this is a neat option, just I don't think I'll be using it a whole lot. Talking about some miscellaneous things in general such as the new Jamboree buddies that are only around for a few turns, but having them gives you a double-edged sword effect where you can get 2 stars as an option to buy, or the option to land on 2 Bowser spaces at the same time. I honestly feel like these Jamboree buddies aren't the greatest, but are interesting due to them having their own additional effects. Such as Luigi giving you a chance to always roll a 10, they just really make the games longer due to needing to play a minigame when you go past them. And I wish you could turn these buddies off or at least remove their minigames. Speaking of blanked, at least the game is honest about it and how long things will take, since when picking turns it shows a much more appropriate length compared to Superstars, which, yeah, 20 turns is certainly not an hour. I don't know why they didn't fix that, and once again, not speed up the game, but here in Jamboree, there is a fast option at least, and it speeds the game up a whole measly 5%! It's so ridiculous that this game defaults most games to 10 turns, and that's a bit sad when you take it into perspective of the usual 20-turn Mario Party game. I guess less is best, just not in terms of content here. Overall though, Mario Party Jamboree is a solid entry on the Switch and Mario Party franchise in general. it's once again just great to play with friends, and its new game modes give something fresh to the franchise. It's certainly no Mario Party 10, that's for sure, and another Mario Party is always a good Mario Party. I just think Superstars is better, and honestly I hope Nintendo could update both of these games to make them the perfect game. In conclusion, was there more Kirby in this? Nope. Wait a second, that's... Hey folks, thanks for checking out the video. Welcome to the end slate. If you don't know what this is, basically I'm just going to be talking about just, I don't know, things in general that have been on my mind that it's probably better to just not put an update video. I know I'm doing end slates like the YouTubers I was inspired from 10 years ago aplenty. So I really appreciate the whole, 1%. It would be nice if it was like 10%. It's probably like 1% that are going to stick around the rest of the video. So yeah, I recently brought back some of my old content. I just kind of removed them, or made them private, I should say, not removed them. People were like, why'd you delete all your videos? And that wasn't deleting, it was privating, guys. But I did that just because I was trying to clean things up and just kind of seeing how the algorithm would like that. To me, though, I really have a special place for a lot of that old content. I'm not just going to delete it. I really appreciate people who just go back and check things out. It is nice to see a comment saying, like, the first video of many or something like that. But then again, some of those videos that are public aren't the first video. It's just, stuff that I've had at least the chance to bring back when I've been able to. But yeah, I've been trying to experiment with some new types of content, as you can see. It's been a bit just because things are going to take a little bit longer for really just my other types of content I usually make in general, or just stuff that I feel like would be for the best to create at this certain moment in time. So I really appreciate everyone checking things out, especially if you're random from the algorithm. A lot of people out there who've been random, just people checking things out, and it's awesome to see that when that happens, videos are getting out there. But it does suck when like your video is like, oh, takes off 10K views, and then it's like, that's it. Yeah, that's it. So I really appreciate, once again, people just watching all my content, people who are like a fan of me in general. I got a lot of different plans, and I guess you could say ambitions for content in general, but I don't really have the time or energy completely to always just make those ideas or implement them. So it kind of results in like, hey, I at least got something out, and that's not the greatest. But when it comes to YouTube, you really got to just make content to make it so it's like, rather than making no content at all. Like, you see those memes about people are like, oh, quick, this new thing just came out, we gotta make things quick, guys, we're losing views, and it's better just to kind of get things out than not. But it's interesting when people are like, that's not the greatest, and it's like, well, this is YouTube, this isn't like Netflix or like Hollywood or anything like that. So I don't know, it's strange when people say things like that. But I do feel like quality is important, especially even with YouTube, especially getting facts and stuff like that straight. It's just like this is no standard. No one's necessarily holding you accountable besides yourself, and you really got to trim the fat of yourself if you can't get videos out, especially if you just get kind of overwhelmed, which that's kind of what has been for a little while, where I've been a little overwhelmed, like, man, I just want to make all these awesome videos, I want to make things perfect, line all my ducks up. But it's like, that's pretty exhausting doing that, and especially making things as refined as I possibly can. But that being said, got a whole bunch of other videos planned. I'd like to get a couple more out before the end of the month. I really hope you all look forward to that, and hope you all take care and have a good Halloween coming up. Hope you've been enjoying Super Mario Party Jamboree. I keep not calling it Mario Party Jamboree, but take care and steal yourselves. Bye bye.